Okay, let's just see if we're live, and we are live. Here we are. We're back again. So if you're watching this one, it's because I really haven't been able to do anything for 4 days, and I've finally got my internet back. I've got my channel back. Everything is sort of thumbs up at the moment, so it's sort of going well. And I think, what can I actually do? And I thought I'd just play a little bit of Shadow Empire. I don't know why I chose Shadow Empire, actually, in hindsight. 3 hours is not going to be enough time to really do much in Shadow Empire. So what I'll do anyway, I'll just start it and see how we go. Yeah, look, and also I'm streaming at a really, really weird time where no one is around, so I'm expecting that there won't be anyone really watching this. Not watching it live anyway, but I'll still just get some content out there for you guys. So my apologies about being, all the troubles that I had after I was hacked and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we've had our internet out since last Friday as well. So it actually compounded with getting hacked, channel deleted, and also the internet, not having access to the internet as well through that period of time. So it was a whole lot of different things compounding it to create such a bit of a problem for me, actually. So anyway, we'll just go this way. Anyway, let's just play some Shadow Empire. I think this will sort of work out okay. I think I'm not in the right position for where my head is for playing Shadow Empire. I'll have to move across somewhere else when we do get going. I'll figure that one out once we actually get into the game proper. Now this is version 1.21p. Is that the most recent? Hang on, let's just have a quick look. Just make sure I am actually using the best version for this. Again, this is a very open beta. This is fine. Okay, so open beta, is P the last one? When did we get the information about P, and what does it bring in? Hi William Thomas, how you going? Saying, hey Daz, weird time. Congratulations on getting stuff back. Got to head to bed anyway. Okay, see you later. It is a very, very weird time. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting to be streaming, and I've been sort of the internet. I got the internet back a couple of hours ago, and I thought, I've got to do something. So I've uploaded videos, scheduled them, so there'll be some videos coming from tomorrow morning, or tomorrow morning my time. But in about 7 or 8 hours, so the first one of those. Hi Joe, saying sorry you were hacked. Yeah, no, it was pretty bad actually. Wasn't fun at all. All right, let's just go in. I'll have a quick look at the discussions and just have a quick look and see. Now, what have we got? We've got suggestions. Yes, this is D. This is a major update. It's not showing us the. Oh, there it is. The last open beta. This is where we're just going to have a quick look and see when was this actually done. Doesn't give us a date. Doesn't give us a date. Anyway, that'll be okay. Hi, Jonan, how you going? Saying good to see you back. Thanks for that. It's it is good to be back. Actually, it's funny, like it's the hack was bad and all this stuff was bad, but not having internet for 4 days or 3 days was actually just from a just an aspect of just what you're used to doing. It's really quite debilitating actually to not have any internet as well. Like you can't watch television other than free-to-air TV, which is atrociously bad. So when was this actually updated? I'll just go to the bottom, which is going to be super long. I won't bother with that one. We'll just get it and play the game anyway, and I won't figure out what's changed or anything else that's actually happening. Actually, I was surprised there to see only 6 people in my. I wonder if I should be playing something different. I was surprised that when I opened this one up, that in the friends list, if I just go back to this one, go to the store page, it said only 6 friends were interested in it. Actually, no, there we go. 30 wanted. Oh, there we go.
Shadow Empire is an immersive,
that's better. I
just
complex
turn-based strategy game, taking 4X elements, procedural generation,
for your eyes, your playlist on Discworld is out of order.
Set on a distant planet over 6,000 years in the future,
I'll have to have
Shadow
a look. I've got a
Empire
lot to
gives
go
you
through
the
with all
chance
of
to
that,
lead a
so
small city of
it's going to be
survivors after a
bad.
terrible
Since
civil
bad
war
enough internet
destroyed a
going out
once
for a couple
proud
of hours. It's
galactic
such a
republic.
core part of our
Your
life now.
task will be
You
to
don't realise how
survive
much there
and
actually
rebuild
is. Hi, Bike Reps, how you
civilization.
going?
Nothing will be
Hey,
spared to
Daz,
you in this great
maybe I
journey.
missed something. I
Shadow
saw the hack
Empire
video.
offers one
How
of the
did you lose the
deepest and most
internet?
flexible
That was
ranges of
actually
decisions ever
we
created.
got that fixed today. We had to get a
Leaders and
technician.
appoint them to
It went down on
become zone
Friday, on
governors,
our Friday.
council
It's now our
directors,
Monday.
army commanders, or advisors.
And so on the
Watch them
Friday,
carefully.
it went
Unsatisfied
down.
leaders could leave
Usually
you,
it went down in the
rebel,
morning.
or turn corrupt.
But I thought often
Leaders
if it
band
does go
together
down, it's
in
usually only
factions
down
to
for an
join
hour or
their
so.
forces
Anyway,
to
I didn't
demand
ring
things
the
from you,
face
like a
until
specific zone
early
to
in the
conquer,
afternoon.
or a
And then
special
by the
policy
time
they want to see in
by
place.
the time they tried to
Take
sort it all
critical
out,
decisions for
nobody
your
was
nation
around
and people through a
technician-wise to
wide
actually
array
go
of
and
stratagem
come out and
cards.
look at the
They
problem.
are
So
designed to help you
came out
cope with
today.
multiple and different
turns up,
situations, such as
that the
establishing
actual wire
diplomatic relations
just
with
to
other
our
nations,
internet actually
attaching
broke
special
on
units
that
to your
same day
troops,
got hacked.
reward loyal subjects,
Literally
and more.
within a few
Extend your
hours of it,
logistical network
just around the corner.
capabilities by
So it was out in the
building
streets. There's nothing I could have done with it
truck
anyway.
stations, and supply bases.
So
Logistics
Malcolm's
is
saying you may
taken
want to stop the
seriously
trailer.
in Shadow
Is the trailer
Empire.
still on, is it?
Witness a realistic supply model where lacking enough quantity of some crucial resource or outrunning your supply
you're
network
right. Sorry,
always has
my,
consequences.
There we go. We'll just get rid of that one. So there we go. Yeah, so it was really quite a weird weekend. I had to borrow my daughter's Wi-Fi, but I couldn't. I managed to do one stream with that, but I really couldn't use it for anything else. So I just was using it for emails and stuff. So it really was, as I say, quite debilitating the way it sort of all did work. Yep. So we've muted that one. That one's now done. Sorry about that. I had my my volume on down really, really low, but I've now got it back up. Yeah, so it was a fun time, I've got to say, over the last few days. It was, very, very strange. So anyway, it's back up and running now, which is faster than I thought it would be. So Tom Meck is then saying, I've been looking at Decisive Campaigns and naturally figuring out Shadow Empires is on the list. Yeah, look, Decisive Campaigns is exceptionally good. The difference between it and Shadow Empires is just the procedural generation, pretty much. Pyrex is saying that's why I hate camping. I need the internet. It's funny, like if I'm outside, I don't mind not having the internet. It's just when we watch TV, I just didn't realise how much of what we watch on TV is reliant on the internet. So my wife and I were just scratching our heads. I was watching old reruns of Jag, I think it was, things like this. Which is just really, really bad. Anyway, Fellington saying Barbarossa is good. That's the Decisive Campaigns, I think. Yeah, I haven't played that one. I've actually avoided the Decisive Campaigns games because they weren't procedural. I loved the what was it called? The something gold. What was it? I think I've still got it on my system here. Just have a quick look and see. It will be under modern. Which one is it? It's the other one that came before it. This Decisive Campaigns, Advanced Tactics Gold. I love that game. And then I bypassed the Decisive Campaigns, but I really should have had a good look at that. And then just went straight into Shadow Empire, which is just exceptionally good. So anyway, let's go and start playing, I guess. Phase Plasma is saying, have you listened to the Vic podcast with Explorminate? Was that the one that I was on? I think the last time, was I on that one as well? Because there was one that we recorded a couple of months ago, which was actually really good, actually. But I've forgotten what we all spoke about. So it was, unless there's been another one since. So I haven't actually heard that one. Anyway, let's get into it. We'll start a new game. And one of the great things about this game is just the procedural generation for the planets. It's just unbelievably good. But I think what we'll do is we'll get through that one fairly fast. We'll start a new game. My head is probably going to be in the way of some content, so sing out in the chat if I do need to move where my head is. I normally have to put it on the left, around about the same distance up from where it currently is, but we'll figure that one out when we get into the game. Because I think it does, like usually where my head is now is a good spot for Distant Worlds and games like that, but not for Shadow Empire. All right, so what I think we'll do is we'll play as an unclassified planet, which will then allow the DLC to be active as well, which is the Oceania DLC. We can actually just go and create some actual worlds as well. Like the Moon class, for example, is going to give us a small map, which we may be able to get into some action if we did play on a Moon class. Let me know in the chat if there's anything in particular you want to see. Unclassified just gives you a completely random start. You never know what you want to do there. Oh, thanks for the super chat there, Marco. Very much appreciated. So that's awesome. Thank you very much. and there's no question associated with that one. So quite often people actually put a question or a statement that you want written out, but read out. But no, thanks for that one. I do appreciate. So so Fellington saying, I hope Vic adds Navy eventually. Yes, I agree with you 100%. Or interplanetary conquest. That would be cool as well. And Marco saying, yeah, glad your channel was restored. Thanks for that. It was it was funny, you know. It was a harrowing time until Team YouTube got involved, and then it became a very calm, methodical process. And I just can't thank them enough or praise them enough for what they did. It was unbelievably good. Like I felt as soon as they got involved, even just the demeanour, I couldn't really show in that video that I put out what they were saying and how they were saying it, but their whole demeanour was very, very calm, and it was really, in a very stressful situation, it was exactly what was required. So it was just brilliant. Okay, well, let's just, God, what do you reckon, guys? Play a moon or just play an unclassified? I'm up to just start chat. Just type it in the chat, moon or unclassified, and I'll just start that way. If you've got any preferences, otherwise I'll probably just start with unclassified. The moon will allow us to then at least get into action fairly quickly. It's a difficult start, but it'll be fine to do that one. I think there's about a 20-second delay. Unclassified says bike racks. Fellington saying Stranger got solved very quickly. Not really. It was because of Team YouTube. They really, really pushed hard. Oh, there we go. Now we've got one of each. Okay, we need somebody to break the deadlock here, or else I have to roll a 10-sided dice to see how things actually go. So if you have a preference as to how things actually do work, of course they do play very, very differently playing on an actual planet as opposed to an actual moon. There's no atmosphere on the moon or on a moon. So it's just a barren rock. But I'll roll there we go. The bike racks has actually changed to moon. There we go. So we've got a switch. We'll play on the moon class. Again, these things end up being quite tricky. Now we'll go with spread out. Not that that's going to matter that much. On a small moon, we're only going to have a few majors, so there'll hardly be anyone there. We don't need to really add any of these things. When you add alien life to these sorts of moons and stuff, it just becomes a bit weird. So I'm not going to bother putting those in. I'll leave everything else on defaults. Severe violence. So this planet will be hit hard during the Dissolution War, and survivors went to extremes to survive. Expect more dangerous AI regimes. We could do that one. It doesn't really matter that much. This is the opposite, the Haven of Calm. But I think we'll just go with spread out. This is sort of like a good one just to sort of add. But that's a good one as well, the severe violence. Nemesis means that one of the AIs will be much more advanced than what we actually are, which is very, very hard on a moon to actually then go up against one of those. Maybe we'll put on severe violence. Why not? Let's just do that. We'll continue this one across. We'll go detailed planet generation. No map otherwise complete. I think we'll do we'll do that one. That way we at least know the lay of the land. One human player, city-state start, one army per zone. Tech level 3, do we want to start back there? Yeah, I think there's been enough changes now to actually have a look and see how the tech level 3 starts. This is the default start, but it's actually easier and probably better to start on tech level 4, but we'll go back to 3. Tech level 4 gives you all your basic things, but tech level 3 now does as well, I think, from what I can remember. Now, the Air Forces, I'm going to have them enabled, but they're not going to be useful at all. The Oceania DLC features, I can't put them on a moon because it's not an Oceania. We won't have oceans, so that will be okay as well. Development speed. Now, this is actually sort of like things, for example, like our research, etc., etc. I'll leave it on normal. I tend to like this one on slow, but I'll put it back on normal. We'll start with only the Supreme Command Council. It's actually a better way to start than going with either 4 or 8. We'll play on hard, and we'll give the AI more time to think. This is interesting. I haven't seen this one before. Mid-core logistics. I don't know what that one does. Mid-core logistics, alpha test. No idea. We won't do the easier logistics and disable epochs. I'm going to have to read up on what that actually is. I haven't seen that one before, so that's actually new. I'll go continue. Here we are. So we're a planet in a slightly eccentric and slightly fast orbit around an orange-red K5 star. So a cold red star backing through this other side. And you can see there, even though we're only 0.21 astronomical units, so even that would even be on the inside of where Mercury is, I think, I'm not sure exactly how many astronomical units Mercury is away from the sun, but a K5, an orange-red K5 star, is going to be a fairly a long burning but slow but coldish sort of star. The gravity is only 0.1 gravity, so it's even smaller than our moon. Actually, is it? No, it'd be about the same, I guess. Actually, no, ours is 0.1 something, 0.16 or something, I think. Temperature is going to be negative 42 degrees Celsius. The solar irradiance is only 644 watts per metre squared. So that's actually going to mean that we're not going to be able to use solar energy all that effectively, I don't think. The planetary age is very, very long, 3.1 billion years, and that's what you get from having an orange-red type star. The planets will be around for an awfully long period of time. A map size is only 37 by 13. It's going to be a tiny map, which is going to be cool. And we have a lot of heavy elements on the actual moon itself. So that's good. So mining will be good on this one. We've got a very, very accentuated tilt back and through here. There we go. Mercury is 0.4 astronomical units. So it's this is even halfway in again towards where the sun would actually be. So and we've got a spin of 19 hours for the actual moon itself. Now, there won't be any atmosphere, so spin won't really matter at all. Fix it still can't get the Mercury to spell correctly. I know what you mean. That's all fine. So saying, "I give up, lol." Yes. Just continue. All right, so what we have here is we have basically everything's going to be freezing all the time, which won't really matter for where we are. There's no atmosphere, so we actually have a desert planet without surface water. The planet will have a thin atmosphere, 195 millibars. Actually, that's interesting. It does actually have an atmosphere at all. The highest mountain on this waterless planet stands tall at 452 meters, so it's not very big. The planet, I don't know how big again the mountains are on the moon. Yeah, there wouldn't be much. No, are they about 3 or 4 kilometres? I can't remember how big they actually are. Anyway, it's not very mountainous. So Margaret's saying even better that you name it Fix It. Yeah. Well, fix it to a degree. The planet has been geologically dead for 1,257 million years. So for a long period of time, this has not had an active core, and which means there's no volcanoes or anything active on the actual surface itself. Now we've got wind speed of 0, rainfall of 0, just 100% plains. So it's going to be a very, very open world, which I'm happy enough with. We can re-roll if we wanted to sort of try to get more mountains, but I'm actually comfortable with this. Now what we're seeing through here, oops, sorry guys, I've just got a phone call. Just double check it. Not sure who that is. I'll just better check my okay, that's all right. Yeah, it's just my internet provider. It may be my internet provider ringing back, actually. If they ring again, I better answer it. It's coming. I've just realised actually that was a number from them. So they're the ones who put the internet back on. All right, so we've got so essentially we think that this will be okay. If we just go and click on the random, we can then have a bit of a look. And so this is the essentially the height above sea level. So everything is around about the same height. If we just sort of zoom back out, we should be able to see there should be that little mountain somewhere. There's nothing lower than 200, so it's very, very limited mountains. We have a massive sort of escarpment that's running through here, and it then continues on back over this other side. So we've got a depression back in here on this side in here. There's the 257, 241. So this is the only real mountain on the region. I might re-roll actually, just so we get see what else we get. That still did the same thing. Yeah, it's a taller mountain. Let's see what else we ended up getting. So we got a few. They're not mountains as such. They're just actually that one is technically a mountain. The others really aren't at this stage. But we have a few more escarpments now, sort of breaking through. That'll do, I guess. Actually, we'll do one more. Re-roll. And this one's even smaller. I'll just do another re-roll until we get... There we go. This looks a bit more interesting. So we've got... now we've got escarpments, and we also have chasms. So we've got some deep chasms running through the actual mountain itself. this looks interesting. Okay, so that'll do us. So as we sort of go back in, yeah, these things through here will then sort of mean that they'll be difficult to fight across those chasms. So we've sort of got some interesting little areas in through that other side. All right, continue. So this is now the actual surface itself. Biosphere, there's no alien biology present on the planet, of course. The hazard exposure level is nightmarish death. I've never seen that before. That looks like it's sort of new in there as well. So we just absolutely have to wear suits, of course, on this little barren rock. Continue. All right, so the history. We've actually had, this is Xenion Patrium, was colonised in the year 7121. It received colonists for 881 years. So it actually ended up with quite a large population, like 282 million. It was mainly mining, so they came through for mining, and then it ended up being a services moon. If we just go back and have another look, this is how big. Landing is where landfall will always be. So this is landing with all of its ruins in around this chasm. So you can sort of imagine like a massive city on a moon back in through there. And we've got some other biggish moons back in through this other side. This may close. This could be interesting, actually. They're not dramatically big. I've seen some moons get generated where they literally have, the mass, like half the moon will just be like a massive city. But in this case, it's big in some areas. Like Landing was massive, and also Tozanar was massive as well. So we've got a few big ruined areas, which is fine. We'll just go continue, and now we go for the Dissolution War. So we've seen more and more valuable sort of areas now coming through. Now, with the Apocalypse, what did we end up getting? We got a fair bit of history through there. We're down to 0.23 million. Most of them are scavengers. Okay, so they're not really raiders. There's a few raiders. So, we won't worry too much about that one. There's a lot of people then of course, died. If we just go back and have another quick look at this one through here, we can see there that there's still these ruins are here, but no one's alive in those. There's a city called York down this way with a lot of radiation in this particular region. Another city over here, so Chatterban. Another city over here, the Cron Range, and then Leadhead. That's probably going to be where we start, I would guess. So that's sort of what we actually end up having, and then we've got another one called Jupiter back over there. So not very much on the actual world itself. I should have turned off so we don't get to see all this, but anyway. That's where we are, so we'll just go and continue. So we actually have this one now. That's just a summary. That's all good. We'll start the game. So we'll customize. I'll just use the DAS Tactic one through there. We've got the Vafaro Federation. We'll change the regime name to the DAS Tactic Federation. We'll actually then go and do. President is fine. The primary colour, I'll just sort of use that. This is the colour for the for the darker colour. I'll just use a red for that one. And the unit colour, I'll just use it like a yellowy sort of colour. That'll do. Flag is vertical. That'll do as well. And OK. And we're just going to go and choose. Actually, what shall we choose in here? It doesn't really matter that much. I think we'll just choose the, so these actually impact your profiles at the start, and also they tend to direct what sort of people you're going to end up having. So Zero Protagonist is saying, glad I caught the start of this. I've been thinking of trying this game out again, but I have no idea what I'm doing in it. Well, it's sort of one of these things. You don't have to labour over what's happening in here. I'll try to explain sort of what's going on. Government will then sort of try to lead to sort of more heading towards sort of like democracy or something along those sorts of lines. Enforcement will mean that you end up with being more autocratic in the way that you sort of do it, and commerce will mean that you sort of are more sort of trade oriented. I don't mind whichever one we go with. I think I'll just choose A, no matter which one they are. They do tend to randomise, so let's just go with enforcement. So we're going to be a bit more autocratic. This one here, heart, means that we're going to sort of be, sacred oaths of loyalty. We've got that one through there. Mind is a good one if you've got aliens on your planet, because you can then start to make friends with them because you're more scientific. And fist just means that you're a little bit more deed-oriented. You can sort of see that many great deeds have inspired awe and loyalty. But let's go with heart, because A is the one we're going to choose. And then we're going to also then choose meritocracy, autocracy, or democracy back into here. Meritocracy, again, is a good one if you wanted to go science-based. We'll just choose it anyway. It won't have a massive bearing on what we're doing. Suffer no losses. Okay, so previous president is now buried. You have to hail the Address Federation as soon as possible. Yep, a new Zeitgeist. This is going to be, which one? Extra private investment. That's good. That means the private sector will sort of start to do its own thing a little bit. Receive 4 new fate stratagems. Okay, Labor Day. None of those. The teachers is a good one. These have been rejigged as well, by the way. So they cost less fate points for. They're sort of more viable with the fate points. So the teacher one is a good one for us to get right from the start. Don't need any of those. Now my head's in the wrong spot, so I'm just going to go and change where that is. So just bear with me. Where are we? Just unlock it, and I'll just move it up now that I know. Now I can see what's going on. So we'll pop that one into there. All right, and we'll get back to it. So the Ascension speech. Now, a bit of a tip when you actually start a game, just change, basically have a look and see where you are before you start going through all of these. Usually if there's a zone decision, I try to do them first. I sort of wish that they were always at the first one that does come up. This one here, we can upgrade the village level 1 of Leadhead, it was Leadhead that we were looking at, to a small town. What should we do? We may not be able to afford it because it's going to cost me 5 political points, and I've only got 12 of them at this stage, so I don't really want to be wasting those. We also have an org decision to bring in one of the councils, which is also going to cost me 4 political points, and we'll have to figure out which one of these we want to bring in. The fact that we start off on tech level 3, usually the Economic Council is your default for a tech level 3 start. If you start on tech level 4, you can then choose something, for example, like the military research. Sometimes foreign affairs is a good one. Sometimes the Interior Council is a good one as well. But in tech level 3, it's usually about 90% that you're going to go Economic Council. We'll see what we've got. See what we have to do with that. Now, the national decisions as well. We'll figure this one out as we go through. Now, the trouble, it's interesting here, we actually have a thriving private economy as our goal. In this case here, we'd end up, this guy hates commerce, and if we have a look on him, we can then sort of see he should actually have a commerce of -3, which is actually why he's actually hates us making a decision about commerce where we actually promote commerce. So if we had have chosen commerce as the option at the start, there's a good chance that would actually not be, we wouldn't have got this character in our group, but we didn't choose it. So definitely don't want to go that way and get him already sort of like so badly, annoyed with choosing that particular one through there. Usually, even though you're getting better numbers down through here, it usually is best to just go with the enforcement. And I think I'll just do that rather than sort of get too bogged down in anything. So this will just promote the enforcement profile. You don't have to worry about the profiles if you don't want to, particularly if you're not playing. If you're playing on just normal or beginner levels, you don't have to sort of analyse them too much. Okay, so there we go. So enforcement went up by another 11 points. The reason it's less is because we're already ahead with enforcement. So we'll just go that way, and we'll just now put our decisions away. So congratulations on your new decision. Dismiss, and we do actually have danger in the zones. Now, the only danger we're going to have in these zones is going to be marauders, some sort of marauder base. So we'll have to have a look at that exactly where that actually is. Let's just see what we actually have. So danger in Leadhead is at 15 points. This early in the game, this probably means enemy hexes or units are too close to the city. It's not just the city, it's also your assets. So if it's close to your assets, that will then cause a bit of a problem. Try to conquer all hexes close to your city. So we'll now declare war is just going to give us information about declaring war, which we don't need to know. So we can see already through here, when you've got like units that have got at least 6 sort of units in them, and we've got 10 inside ours, they're going to always push back around the border. And we can see there's one there that doesn't have anything pushing back there. So whatever's in there is inside this zone. So let's just talk about this. I've noticed when people start playing the game, they quite often don't know why they're stumbling into different units. If I move that unit into there, there'll be an ambush waiting inside the ruins. So this is where the terrain is really important. If I just press number 1, I can then sort of turn off all of the actual units, and we can then sort of see what's going on the actual field itself. So our unit at the moment is in this little area, which is basically, when we look down, this is rocky plains down through this other side. When I hover over there, we can then sort of see that there's no, like the entrenchment we have an automatic entrenchment of 25, and so the unit that's actually there, if I click on that one, I don't know if if we just press number 1 again and go and click on that particular unit, this is the first machine gun, and it should actually be entrenched. It's entrenched 100 for the start of the game, so it's actually already starting off a little bit entrenched, and so it's actually already there. When we have a look at this one through this other side at the actual rocky plains, we should see other information about these, which we're not seeing we're not seeing I'll just go back into there again. Yeah, with this one selected, we should have the recon amount. Why is the recon not showing up? Not seeing it there. I'll just have a look in this area through here. I don't want to go into that area, so I'm just going to go and click on that area through there. There it is. Recon is only 25. So in this region, if I click up to here, for example, we've got recon of 23, even though we control it. And this area through here, it's recon of 61. And so it says the current recon points in the selected hex. The minimum recon for unit information is 40, and it's 42 for this hex. It's just a little bit of, people can hide in here just by a factor of an extra 2. So universal hide points is 2 for that particular hex. Minimum recon for full unit information is 402 for that particular hex. There's no hide points because we're in an open sort of rocky plain, and your zone of control points in this hex is 41. So we do actually have we've got control of it, but we don't have full recon, even though we're actually right there. In this hex over here, we've only got a recon of 25, but you'll see that this one has actually got a recon of 62, and because the ruins that are there actually give it another 20 landscape hide points. So for us to just get minimum unit information on that particular hex, we need to get our recon up to 62 or more. So we need to bring units in. Now we know that there's nothing here. We have to protect this water mine that we actually have. So we have a water mine asset through there. I'll just sort of do this bit of it. So this one here has got some bikers. Now the biker unit has got a recon of 10. So it's actually got very, very high recon. If we have a look at the unit from here, for example, the troopers have got a recon of 1. So these are terrible at recon. And same with the zero guns as well. They've only got a recon of 1. So they really don't push the recon around much, but this will. Just with those, with the one group of bikers, that's going to work out fairly well. If we have a look at some of the other things that we've actually got, let's just move this one up. And we've now seen another unit. Now, it looks like this one may not be anything in here. We're up to 37 in there. This one over through here, we've only got recon of 27, but we have spotted the unit there. If we keep on sort of pushing our units back out, now this is also, if you just press number 1, we have a water mine in through here. If we have a look at the assets, let's have a look and see what we've got. This is for the whole of the area that we actually have, so Leadhead itself. If we just go back to this first one, so we've got an ice mine here, which is giving us 572 water. This is going to be very, very important for us on a moon. We don't have any access to any water anywhere else, so these are critical to find these ice mines. And then we've got another one down through here, which is a This is a farm that's being constructed. So this is actually a private farm. So the private sector is building a farm down that way. Back in through this other side, we've got a high command back inside the building that we control. We've got a scavenging unit, which we don't control, which we're going to have to get hold of ourselves because we don't get the benefit of this. We also have a dome farm there as well, which we don't get to control. And then a transport hub, which we also don't get to control. Now, we're going to be wanting to get the transport hub eventually once we get things established. Also, this is now new in the game where it doesn't give you the big batteries that it used to actually have. It's now just, or the generators. It just gives you a degraded liquid energy battery essentially, which gives you only 30. So you start off with very, very limited energy in these particular starts. Now it's a bit more difficult. And so we have a few things we need to sort of get on top of. Actually, we've got another one in there. This is actually I was thinking, where's our farm? Our farm is right here. So we're actually generating 212 food at this point in time. We'll have a look at this in detail in a minute. But these assets here, all three of these need to be protected. We don't want to have marauders. And that marauder that we saw there was coming in from this particular part of the mega city that was here once before. We're also seeing a border here. This is a major. So this is Clockseeker, and they're a major regime, but we don't know what the culture is, and they're going to be trying to blackmail us. Now, we're going to have to try to protect ourselves from them and push our border back. This looks pretty good, actually, having this region in through there. That's a good protective region, and same down into here as well. So we're going to be wanting to do all these things this turn. Let's just go back and start to sort of move down and around. Now, there's more forces. We can see these a fair way out. This is recon of 4, but it's a long way out in that particular region. So let's just keep on moving this truck down to there, just to push this border away. We're going to need to sort of come back in around the others as well. I think that now that we've sort of seen that there was nothing when that one went up to there, I'm pretty confident it's this one here that was pushing that one back. So let's just risk it. There we go. And we've now actually seen a few more that are a bit deeper across. Another thing I like to do at the very, very start is look at the strategic map. And back in through here, actually, we do actually have some mountains and sand dunes and things back down in this other region. If we have a look at the different areas, we've got non-aligned forces, which is where these marauders are coming from, but everything else is actually part of a controlled zone. So we actually have the Chrono Range Imperium is down through here and across through this other side. We've got the Permanus League, which is over through here. Now, somehow that joins up with this, and I don't know how that is actually happening. So it may be that they actually extend all the way around to here. So it doesn't look like it's very important, but we'll see what they've actually got. And then we've got the major regime in through this side, which is down in this area. So Permanus League looks to be just a minor faction, and then we've got ours in the middle there. So we need to be pushing back against these other factions, but they won't be as bad as these at the start of the game. These guys as well probably won't attack us for a little while, so we'll just sort of leave those back where they are. We definitely want to be sort of controlling all of this stuff. So I want to just come back down and just put some pressure on the border. So we'll just go this way. I'm going to definitely have to put in even just some militia back into these different zones. We've got a few militia there, so we'll bring them across. And if I go to there, I do protect this by placing that one there. They could lock us off there. We are going to need to get our first infantry involved. Sorry, my dogs are barking. But I do want to keep on going down this way and just pushing these and extending the border down. Let's just do that a little bit. Don't know what they're barking at. My apologies. Looks like there's a delivery. It's always bad streaming during the day here. A bit of a pain. I'll just move them across along this road. So we're sort of pushing out towards where we think the other city was. I think it was over in here somewhere from when we looked at it. So these end through here. This is the Chrono Range Imperium. This is as well. Initially, we don't absolutely have to sort of protect all of these things, but let's just go there just to get a line. And I'm not trying to attack these things. I'm just trying to sort of essentially establish. I want to grab these if I can. These little areas when I see them, little free folk. if he keeps on barking, I better just check and see what's going on. Okay, sorry about that. Back again now. Yeah, just a delivery man. He's a nice guy actually. He sort of comes a lot into our street delivering things. So he's a nice guy. So we don't have very much that we can actually sort of do. Now we don't want to be rushing around doing sort of too much in through here. Ramstein saying the dog barking at enemies at the border so they would back off. Yes. Yeah, no, it's funny. Yes, saying hi Daz and gang, glad you're back. Yeah, thanks for that. It was painful. It was very, very annoying. I keep on pressing WASD, which is not going to help me. It's just the arrow keys in here. So I don't want to go too far away. I need to protect my important assets down through here, and I've got enough of that. There is like a zone of control. We saw there in this one here that we actually did have a zone of control which was extending when we hover over this one, I think it was. Zone of control penalty in action points is 10. So there's a bit of zone of control being activated here. It's going to be hard for them to walk around, and so they're going to be in spacesuits as well. So we just have to sort of weather the storm. But we're now we're inside the ruins. Which, if we have a look at the machine gun again, we'll see immediately that our entrenchment has gone up to 125. They were 100 when they were here. They're 125 now. And that's because in the ruins, we end up with a automatic entrenchment of 125, that A entrenchment for infantry, and a maximum entrenchment of 250. Now, one thing we don't actually have is we don't actually have any metal mines. And so when we just press number 1 again, there's no metal anywhere on the actual surface. We can do that as well through the strategic map, and then just going to the stats, and then just look at all resources. And the only resource we actually have is water. Now we need to try to find metal if we can find it, because there was good mining on this particular planet. So we will be going back. We will be wanting to go back and have a look at that. If we have a look also, before we sort of go too far with this, is to go to, where is it? The reports. And so we've got the, if we just go to the help file, this will then give us all the information we want. So the planetary statistics, agricultural crop details is not going to worry us because we're on a moon. So that will then just tell us basically that there's really no point. There's just Terran crops aren't going to survive on their own. But if we have a look at this particular one, this planet statistics overview, this gives us a lot of really good information. So exposure hazard is nightmarish death on immediate exposure. So it's level 8 in terms of the hazards. I mean, we have to be in full spacesuits. Respiratory hazard is toxic, envirosuit advised. Biohazard, none at all. There's nothing, no bio. There's no aliens or anything on the actual planet. No alien life. Terran agriculture is extreme. Planets, they're going to die, of course. And alien nutritional toxicity, there's no value there as well. Rain scarcity is trace rainfall somewhere. And there's oxygen, there's zero oxygen on the planet. The plant development levels are none. The geological activity has been dead for a long period of time. So there's no energy that we can get from volcanoes. Heavy elements is high. Gravity is very, very low. Density, we've done all this when we were sort of setting it up. The farming method advised is dome farming, which we sort of course, know. The solar panels modifier, because it was such a weak sun, that red orange planet, means that we only get 47% from our solar energy. So solar is not great on this particular planet. Dissolved metals in the soil. This is new. I haven't seen this one before. This is 40 parts per billion, is it? I'm not sure what the B is. And the aircraft engine advice is rocket, because there's no atmosphere. So rockets are really the only way of actually getting around with aircraft, which is not going to be something that we aim for. Okay, so there we go. That's pretty much just tells us everything we need to know about the planet itself, which we already sort of knew because we were playing on the moon. But we don't, like the heavy elements should mean that we should be able to find resources on the actual world itself, like in terms of metals. I'm not going to find any oil because there's no there's no life. So oil is going to be a big problem. So we need to really get on top of our energy, and then we need to convert energy across into actual fuel. So we actually need to establish our farming really well. Not immediately, but soon. So let's just go back and press number 1 again, just bring these ones back. So initially all we're doing is going to be trying to focus on these, but just protect our borders, sort of establish some borders that we can protect, like down into here, for example, would be good, down into here. We don't know exactly how far down the other character actually is. It's going to be a little way off, so we don't want to rush down that way. They may declare war pretty quickly. We'll see how we go. We've still got our 2 decisions, so coming back to these. We need to find metals, so Economic Council will be the one to grab for that, so we can do some prospecting. The Zone City upgrade, now we've still got 7 left, and this is the only decision we have to make at this point in time. So I think we will do the upgrade in this case. The upgrades, when you're going to decide whether to upgrade a town, like if you don't actually have full control of a town, like if they're not fully with you, then you have to really think about it. But if not, then it will mean it will grow faster. So let's just go and upgrade the village. We're down to 2 now. There's no more decisions to be made. There's nothing else we can really do in here, so we'll just end our turn. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. We didn't actually. One thing we didn't have a look at was the management screen. So we've already had a quick look at the assets. They're all okay. We'll have a quick look at the models. Just go to all. And we don't have very many in through this other side, and we just want to go to design, and we just want to see if our buggies are good at 121. These are going to be incredibly important for us to make good use of the buggy. So we can keep on making use of these. Our troopers are below average at under 100, and the zero gun is 111. We're going to have to just put up with this for a little while, but eventually we at least can start to make use of the recon buggies when we can afford to get them. We're not going to have very much oil coming in. Actually, before we do go, I may be able to. No, I don't have enough money to be able to then go and buy anything, so that's okay. We'll just leave it where it is. Leaders, we've got 2 Cap 4s, actually. This is great. So we've got a reserve pool member in through here who is good with intelligence, willpower. Well, he's going to be the guy we're going to have to use. Look, the fact that he's a capability 4 type person, I think I would love to use him in other ways, but he's got incredible improvisation. So this helps the leader in question make a skill roll on a skill he doesn't master very well. If any skill roll is made on a skill with a value of 15 or lower, the improvisation skill adds a small bonus, which would be fantastic. And that's a big bonus there. So I think that he'll then come in as this particular, as our new economic counsellor. So we'll exit that one out through there. Now, the secretary is only Cap 1, which is fine. We've got a commander of the 1st Machine Gun Brigade is also a Cap 1. That's okay as well. The governor of Leadhead is only a Cap 1. That's not good. Yeah, that's a problem. The advisor as well can also be then used for other things. This one does have high investigation, intimidation, interrogation. He'd be good in charge of the city, but we can't really do that one just yet. Then we've got the 1st SHQ is only a Cap 2. Again, it would be better to have Crux in that role. Yeah, look, we'll have to just leave him in there for now anyway. So we won't do a reshuffle just yet. We'll just make do with what we've got. So we'll end our turn. So Yonan saying, I use an auto hotkey script to force WASD camera movement in games that prevent it, like Shadow Empire. Easy to do if interested. I've sort of seen that, but I sort of, in one sense, I try to, because I'm often trying to show people how to play the game, I tend to not put in too many extra things, if that makes sense. So I just have to get used to using the arrow keys. So there we go. Silas is saying WB Daz. Thanks for that one. Actually, I thought you were doing a WASD joke, but it was a welcome back. Thanks very much for that. Suffered no losses. Okay, so we have, now they didn't actually go after us. Our scav team found hidden treasure near Meat Greet in the zone Leadhead. So 12 machinery has been secured. That's actually useful for us. This is a good thing to find. Admin level has risen to level 3, so the only fate pack on tech level increase on regular difficulty. Wow, this is new as well. Only fate pack on tech level increase on regular difficulty. Okay, so we don't get the fate pack. Wow, that's really, really cool. I'm glad that Vic's done all this sort of stuff. He's really tweaked the game a lot with these new changes. So we have, now these guys have flocked to the border. Now the border has now been gobbled up that was part of the other one. This is the Permanus League, which extends all the way down to here now. Then we actually have the Chrono Range Imperium, which is this group through here. They're also coming back up. We're going to have to be a little bit careful of them. These guys have now left the ruins and moved off. So we need to protect... we don't have to go very far, actually. I'm going to have to move across. I need to stop them from coming up and taking what we've got. It's a bit of a problem. So we've got another unit back in through this other side. I'm going to have to sort of place this one probably in here, I would guess. I can use another one of these as well. I think I'm going to have to... which way do we go? Which way do we go? I'm going to move that one across just to stop them from getting through. We don't know much about Permanus League. They're raiders, actually. That means they're going to be trying to break through, which is a problem. I'm going to move this one back to the capital, and this one here, I'm just going to move that one up to that location there. So raiders are going to get aggressive. Now at the moment, I'm just going to move up. These are going to start to chew up fuel, which I'm going to have to be a little bit careful of. Now we don't know what's in there. We don't have the recon on that particular one. We've only got 18 recon. I think we better move back in and just protect these. And that way we can start to use these guys. I'm going to leave this open because I don't think that they're going to declare war immediately. So let's move these down to just start to sort of secure this border. Let's Meat Greet back in through there. Just press number 1 again. Yeah, Irvan is now gone. We didn't actually get hold of that. Leave that one up the top there. It still leaves us with some protection back in the capital. So we've got our Supreme Headquarters back that way as well. There's not really a lot we can do here. Hopefully that's going to be enough to stop anything from coming in this other side. They're probably going to come through this way. It does leave this open. The smart move would be to go to here, which I think I'll do. Just need to cover these locations. I think that's going to stop them. Now, do we know about this one? This is culture unknown. These are both minor cultures. All right, now we have a little bit of... our energy is now draining away. So we've actually now got a diminishing factor in through there. We do actually have 6 decisions to make. Now, the Economic Council is only got 33%. I'm going to move that one up to maybe sort of like 45 or thereabouts, even 50-50 at this stage. Let's just do that. Confirm.
Order acknowledged. That's
going to then mean that Owen Dean Path is going to be a little bit unhappy with that one. New Director of the Economic Council. He does have a suitability of 18, so we'll just appoint him into that particular role. He's the only one that we've actually got there anyway.
Copy that.
Now, the Economic Council task priorities. So this one here, if we're not researching something, then we go with discovery, and this discovery is for research. And so really what we want to be doing is we want to be basically pushing our research up and our discovery down. So let's just have the discovery running at, say, 5%, just lock that one in, and prospecting and economic policies. Now, the economic policies can be down low as well. Just make the, actually, you might just move them up to, say, 10. These are the cards that we get. The prospecting is vitally important at this stage. So I'm just going to go across. And the way this works is that anything I've got going into research that where we aren't researching anything, then gets put straight back into discovery of the research fields. So I still want to have some going in there. Maybe we'll sort of get that one up to say 35. It gives me that 50% of the effort we're going to be making is going to be looking for resources. We probably don't need it that high. We might just even make it say 40. That way we're going to have 45 into research. That will actually work in pretty well. And so even though the discovery chance, we're just dribbling along there at 5%, but initially we're going to be having 50% going in for the discovery of new techs. So we'll confirm this one, but the prospecting is still fairly high.
Copy that.
So I'll confirm that. Then we've got threat of war. So the president of the Permanus League has contacted us with his raiders, are ready and willing to invade us. He noted that he, however, is reasonable, and a small payment of 500 credits will buy them off. So will you bribe the raiders to avoid war? No, we will not, of course. So they're going to declare war, I would guess. Yep, so we told you to sod off. They declared war on us. President of Permanus League radioed us, will regret our foolishness. The FIST profile increased by 3% with that particular decision, and the relationship with them has now dwindled by another 20%, 20 points. Now, training opportunity in the 1st Guards Battalion. So really it doesn't matter much in here. I'm not going to worry too much about getting these different things. We've got a veteran sergeant or 2 commandos, form 2 commandos, or turn the best prospect into a veteran sergeant. I think I'll just go B in this case.
Roger that.
So we'll just take that one. And now the problem we now have is we now have a war up this way, and they're going to be trying to break through. We still need to mask this with these lower level units, so we're just going to keep them on this side. But we now have to sort of mask these guys, stop them from doing anything. We still don't know what these actually are. It's unclear, but they're fairly happy with us. I don't know if we have any cards that would actually any sort of work with the miners. Propose peace, end the war and go to peace, which I don't really need to do. The majors, yeah, I won't do that one either at this stage. There's nothing else in there. HQs we won't worry about. Zones. Actually, we do have this one here that we can actually go and make use of. This would actually be good. This will give us. I'm just going to play this particular card on not a friendly zone. We'll just go back to our targets. So we're going to do this one in Leadhead. And what this one then does is just builds some schools inside the city itself.
Yes, sir.
So we'll go and do that one. I should have done that one last turn anyway, actually. Leaders, we do have this one as well, which we don't really need to worry about. Okay, so that's the strat cards. We've got hardly any of those. But let's go and start to spread these out a bit now, and just sort of wait for. Actually, that's a good location there, but we do need to be mindful of what we've got coming up this other way. These guys we're at war with. We need to sort of have like a front established out through this other side. Okay, in that case. Yeah, they'll try to break through. If they've got motorbikes, they're going to be able to break through very, very easily. So we need to actually go and get other forces to protect us. So I think what I'll do is, if I can do it, I've got 225 metal. I've got a little bit of oil. Let's go and get some armoured cars, and we'll just build them back in the capital, I think, if we can do it. So if we just go across to race formation, we're going to do an independent battalion of... no, I can't do the buggies. I can do another machine gun unit. Or I can even get another infantry unit if I had to. These ultimately would be more valuable to us. They'd be more useful. But we've got enough people... It's actually the industrial points that are the problem for us. And this one here it's the industrial points that are stopping us from getting the buggy as well. If we're over 50%, we can actually go and build them. To get one more infantry, we'll just plug the gaps, I think, fairly nicely. Is there anything else we want to be building? Let's just go back to construction. So we've got agricultural facilities, no mining operations. The scavenging furnace, like we are going down slightly with this, so we have to be a bit careful. Industry, we can't build any of these just yet. Eventually we're going to be wanting to get this biofuel factory, Actually, one thing we might do is have a quick look and see what's happening with our food and maybe sell off the excess food. They'll try to sell that off anyway. The government buildings, we do want to go and get the bureaucrat office. It's going to be another 10 there. The High Command HQ is 4 rounds. This one's only 1 round, but we don't actually have the points to do it. And then logistics, really can't do any of these either. So we really can't do anything at this point in time. Now, to nationalise these, we need to spend money on the truck station. Okay, so really we're in a bit of a bind here. I think that we will go and get one more infantry unit and attach them to the 1st Infantry. So let's just go and do that. That way, because actually, or do we wait? I don't think it's going to be a long, long time before we can build up anything. So let's just go and do that one. We'll just raise a formation. Independent Battalion of Infantry. We only get a portion of them because of the lack of industrial points. So if I go and click on them, we'll sort of then see that the troops are fine at 100%. We've got enough of those. The items are not fine. And we can then sort of see that this is the shortfall that we have. Everything else is actually okay. So, yeah, there's no other problems that we actually have through there. So that's actually all okay. So we'll just go and raise that formation. So that's now come through with only 7, not the 10, but it will, like if we get spares in the coming rounds, that will then sort of sort itself out. This particular group is going to be set to, so if you just go back into the unit administration and change the HQ to the 1st Machine Gun Infantry Brigade. And so that will then have the benefit of this leader down into here. Even though the leader's not very good, it will still help a little bit. That then will give us just one other unit that we can start to push around once the readiness comes back up. So at the moment, the readiness on this one is pretty bad. Like it's down to 35. So we'll keep it on the capital. The capital is also a ruins. We always start off on a ruins. And so we do end up with good entrenchment. It's going to be difficult for them to break into here. But we probably have to scramble this next turn. So let's just end our turn here. Oh, I forgot to sell the food. Here we go. They're making in fact, they wiped us out. Wow. I've never seen that before. This isn't good. Now, we did kill 500 infantry, but we lost 1,000. That's massively bad. That is really, really bad. I've never seen that. Not out in the open like this. Man, that was brutal. Okay, so metal is a key resource. Yep, so we'll dismiss that one now. Yeah, these are now breaking through into here. Nothing we can do about it, really. We have to sort of stay where we are. We're going to have to leave all this and come back up now and start to sort of build other things. Now, we've got this area in here is what? This is the dome farm, the other farms that they've been building. So small dome farms. Wow, okay, that was terrible. Got hardly any industrial points. Really can't do much in here. God, that was really, really bad. As I say, I haven't seen that before. I'm going to keep this one still back in here. I'm going to have to move this one back. This one as well. I'm just going to move that one back into the ruins where we can get some protection. Let's just move up. Yeah, they're going to try to break through if they can. We'll just stay where we are. Everyone else will then start to dig in. So this group in here, for example, has already now got entrenchment of 65, and it will slowly dig in up to a maximum of 100. But it will at least help us a little bit. But God, that was a horrible fight. I don't know if Vic was at one point going to add in detailed combat, but it's not there. So that's the neighbour's dog barking now. It's not me, not mine. These, I just want to keep these here until their readiness goes right up. Their entrenchment is high as well because they're in the ruins, so that will actually sort of do us. Nothing else we can do here, guys. So we can go to the traders. So if we just go into the trade area, we can sell fuel, metal, food. We can sell food for 0.51 credits. Let's sell. We've got 900 odd. They'll buy 548. Let's go for that. Let's sell the maximum.
Roger that.
And water. They'll buy them for 0.2, which is not really enough. Now, one thing we should do if we're wasting water, we should come into these assets and just change them to say 50% production or something, and just so we're not wasting too much water. We can actually go back into our management screen and go back to the assets themselves and just sort of see what the actual usage is. So the zone consumption for water is only 200, and which means that we've actually got we're producing more than we need. We only need 200 basically, for what we actually have to do. So by having that one set at 50% production, it was around the 600, so it's going to be around about 300, which is good enough. I'm happy enough with that one. So we'll just get that one back. Now the scavenging plant, to nationalise this one is 500 credits. This will then open up where we start to get more metals, more fuel, more energy. So we're not going to be, the private sector won't be controlling that one anymore. There's the schools that we created. I think we'll actually do that. Yep, population happiness dropped a little bit when we did that one. So we now control this. So next turn we'll start to sort of get the benefit of that a little bit. We've still got some money, which is important. We need to keep about 100 usually, just like left over, but we're doing okay with that. Okay, we are really under the pump here. Okay, so Adrian has been saying, hi Daz, congratulations on getting your accounts back. Thanks for that. Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. A fair bit of a nightmare actually. It wasn't real good fun at all. I'm going to move this one down. Now, in one sense, we can't really protect anything in here. I'm just going to move this one up. Now, we've got Irvan for the first time. Now, we should actually pick up some goods from that as well. This also, let's just go up and just start to push back the borders. And that will then stop these from getting back up into here. Not that we didn't find anything useful up there, but at least we've sort of done that. Yeah, this is difficult, guys. This is a difficult start. Just end our turn. Are they going to fight us again? No, they didn't do anything this time. That's good. Dismiss that one. So I'm going to keep these where they are. We're up to 48 now with these. We're now starting to get a little bit more of the fuel. Metals will go up a little bit as well. The money is going backwards. We're not selling anything at this point in time. We do want to be selling off the water, I think. So we'll just go back into trade. And we'll just try to sort of keep things going with these. Now, we can't do too much. I'll just sell off a little bit of those.
Roger that.
And these, we'll probably have to keep these actually going up through there. Change this trading, that's okay. We'll just keep all that where that actually is. We won't get too tricky with this. Until we get armoured cars, we are not going to be able to do much. Let's just leave everything else where that is. Nothing else we can really do. Got 3 decisions. Protests in Leadhead. So, we don't have a real lot of troops to do anything in here. Now, coming down the protests, if we have a plus 11 with a die 100. So we're looking at around about a 50-50 chance. Let's just go with it and see how we go. Now, our actual governor is pretty bad, but let's just do it anyway.
Yes, sir.
And versus failure. So the failure talked, and so we've now got an unrest has gone up by 30%, which is bad. So, yep, and Chrono Range Imperium demands regular relations. Now, this is fine. These guys are, the Chrono Range Imperium, is that this one here? Yeah. I'm happy to get, like, they're actually just right there, so they're pretty close. But this is fine. I'm actually happy for that to be where we actually secure the border here. So let's go and do that. So we'll go yes. And that's going to, yeah, this guy is going to be a little bit happier as well, the Supreme Command Councillor. So we'll do that one. Good. Very nimble fingers in the 2nd Machine Gun Infantry Brigade. So we'll make this one a, we'll make it a elite sniper.
Understood.
It's just, what that is just, there'll be one of the units will end up with like one extra one extra little group. Not they sort of get attached. There's military police have been added to that one. Yep, there's the elite sniper, which essentially is not. It's not. It just adds onto one of the other fighting units, and just gives them a little bit of a bonus. So these ones now should be entrenched up to. This one's still 65. This one's 65. This one's back up to 100 now, so we get a little bit extra protection. So that's actually good. We're holding on here. This guy is now coming back through. Let's move this one down just to stop that one from getting through. He can zip around the back. We can't do much about that. Now the industrial points are very, very poor at 48. We're going to need to get on top of that at some point. Now our energy has stabilized. I'm not sure why, actually, why that has stabilized. That shouldn't. We should still be going backwards there. Nothing much we can do about that one. And we just have to sit back here now until we sort of can get ahead, which is going to be difficult for us. These are hard starts in these moons. Hi Thomas, how are you going? We'll end our turn here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can really do. I mean, if we go back to trade again, food is now worth nothing. The rare earths we could sell, but we're just holding on at this point in time. So let's just end our turn. There we go, they're attacking us there. They did a bit of damage. We killed 900 of them, but we lost 10 guns and 10 motorised. Okay, National Pride. So they attacked this particular group. Now we still actually have this militia force in through here as well that we can pretty much use over this other side. I might just move them out to that location. This one here is protecting the capital anyway. These extra troopers, which are not the greatest. Now this border is now secure, so we don't have any problems down through here because we've now made a deal with them. But they're under attack from this major player. So the major player is now moving across. Let's move up and start to put pressure on these other guys. I'll leave this one back because, again, it's dug in already. So it just makes it a lot more better at defending than what it was. One decision, policy speech. Okay, so we want to have... Really, these are going to be so difficult. Goal is the average education in the zones reaches at least 57 points. We wanted to get there, but we're not even crawling yet. We are literally fighting for our lives at this point in time with this particular fight. Until I can actually get my industrial points up, I'm going to be in trouble. Maybe we'll have a quick look and see if we can, what it's going to take to construct industry. It's going to take 50 over 3 rounds, so 150 in total. Oh, sorry, no, that's what's going to generate. Yeah, I can't generate it. 220. It's 220. Yeah, 220 per turn, 500 metals. So I just cannot do the industry. Government. Again, I can't do this one either. This is all just way, way too much for us. That's not going to help us. Scavenging furnace not going to help us. Yeah, recycling plant back in through there. Now, we still haven't found any metals, I don't think. Yeah, we don't know where the metals actually are. So, we're a bit stuck here. One's still sticking there. This has now moved down a little bit, caused a bit more pain. This has now moved up to there, sort of blocked us off from this one, but this is really where our fight actually is. Again, nothing much we can do there. One decision to make. Minor worker strike in Leadhead. Again, ignore it, and we have the unrest go up to another plus 20, which would be terrible. This is not good for us to do. The 88, God, it's sort of one of these things where at least we'd save us a little bit of space if we did this one. I think I'm going to do it even though we're losing money. We're losing too much money. I can't ignore it. I just cannot ignore these. I need to get another governor in here. He's shockingly bad. But I've got nowhere else to put him. I'll just explain what's going on with the unrest. If we have a look at the city itself, so this is Leadhead itself. We can see through here that we've got militancy is like how much they're likely to put together a military force for us, which is fairly high. We've got the unrest level is 20 at this point in time. Now, diminished with 1 point due to time, and another point due to 700 troops and 0 security points present in the city, and diminished with 2 due to loyalty. So it's going down at 4 per turn, but that's a long, long way down. Now, if the unrest gets too high, they'll start to rebel, and then we'll end up having to fight rebellions as well inside our territory, and we don't want that. We also have this danger level. So this diminishes with 3 points due to time and increase with 3 points due to presence of enemy near assets, which is essentially this one here, or it might be this one here. Anyway, one of these is actually causing us issues. Anything within 2 of the city or assets, in fact, they both are causing problems. And so the danger level is, and this is going to upset our people. And so you can see there the happiness of the population is going down because of this danger and because of the unrest. So we're not in a good position here at all. We really are struggling here. So we're in a really, really bad situation. Anyway, let's just continue on, seeing what actually happens. So I'm just going to have to pay them the money.
Yes, sir.
So that way we don't have any increase in our unrest. We're now down to 244. Just to see what we have to have every turn. We can then sort of see that the start turns and credits, we're actually losing 54 per turn. And so that just gives us a bit of a run. Now, if we were actually doing anything with, like if we were selling any other goods, that would then sort of, it can be a little bit misleading with how things actually do go. But we can also just go down to the treasury cash flow and just have a bit of a look to see what's actually happening in through here to see exactly what is happening. So the salaries we're paying out is total of there's essentially the 54 in through there. Sorry, we've got the 17 total for the soldier and leader salaries. Total in and then the outflow. So we had an inflow of 15 credits, which I think is just what we pick up anyway. 15, where's that one coming in? Oh, there it is, service tax. Yeah, so we didn't sell anything. We didn't actually sell anything there. It's just what they picked up essentially. So it's just sort of like a bit of a random collection of things. So let's just end our turn there. I should have played on normal. This is really, really hard. Start our turn. Discovered a new tech. Now we don't want to go for that one because it's not one that we need. The treasury is now getting low. And we can have another quick look at the reports and just sort of see, yeah, it's still going down at the same rate. Political points are going backwards a little bit as well. We have to be careful of that. Got 2 decisions to make. Okay, so we can go with physical storage, which we don't need. So if we research nothing, it means they're going to keep on discovering new techs, which is what I want them to do. Our leader in Leadhead are harassed. So again, we've got more problems in here. And I don't have the troops to be able to really look after these. Again, I can't let the unrest go up. The investigation roll is a 50, but then there's a difficulty of 50 plus 2 die 100. So this is really against us. The average is 148, and our maximum is 150. So our average is 100. So that's going to be really, really bad. If we lose this one, the unrest is going to go down, going to go up even more than the 20. I think we're better off to just do nothing at this stage.
Yes, sir.
So unrest increased by 20% and the worker happiness decreased with 10%. So that's not good. We are really struggling here, guys. This is not good at all. I can't attack or do anything because I just don't have the troops. We now have 105. But I now need these to protect the actual city itself. I'm going to go and start to get replacement troops. troops. Yeah, so we need 300 of these. Oops, hang on, that's just the amount. Let's get 5 initially, or 6. Actually, I can get a few of them. Let's get 8. Produce those. What that will then do is it will then produce them inside the capital. And so inside here, we've now got 8 troopers. In the next turn, they'll then go and fill this one up with 3 of them. But we also now need to make up the other force that we had lost. And I think I'll leave it until I've got 10, and then we'll start to sort of create that one a bit separately. This through here is now sort of dwindled off, so let's just go and move these down. Get our borders established in here again. Not going to worry about those just yet. I shouldn't have done that. All right, well, that just gets these borders established down this way. These here are a real pain in the bum. I really can't do this with infantry. I need to have armoured cars. So Aiden's saying, yeah, you can push out on the left. I can a little bit, but I need to have the protection of this ruins. So I can do a little bit in here, but I can't grab Percy. I'm sure there's someone in there. So we just can't access that one. I mean, I could have a look, but I really don't think I'm going to get anything from that one. Anyway, we're sort of now stuck again with no industry. So we'll end our turn again. Okay, we killed 600 infantry, we lost 100. Discovered metal, finally found the metal. Not that we can do anything with that. Alright, well, we'll dismiss that one. Reduce unrest, yeah, I know. So these are back up to 10. Now Percy is still under the protection. This large guy is moving around all over the place. Who's this? Non-aligned forces are now moving down that way as well. Let's just move this one back. These ones did get attacked, was what we thought would happen. Let's just move these back to there. I think I had strategic movement on there before. I'm just going to leave these where they are. I've got 36, it's still just not enough. I need to get down into there. So the metal, okay, this is interesting. The metal was discovered at this location, and the asset they are building a metal mine straight away. So we found it here. The private sector has decided to grab this one before we can even do anything. I wish that there was always a bit of a delay, because I do want that. Not that I can afford to do it right now. Just go back and press number 1 on again. Okay. So at least we've got some protection back in here. Now we're going to need to get our other unit back that was actually part of this particular force. And really, until we get 300 odd industrial points, we can't even build an armoured car. Oh God, this is difficult. We can raise a formation. Missing unit. So we can reform. The 1st Machine Gun Infantry Brigade is missing the following subunits. So we're missing we can reform with troops or reform blank. Let's reform with troops. USHQ must have the items needed to produce the troops needed. So we've got 72% of the items. So I'll reform them. So they've now been reformed in here. So we've now got this group that has now come back. The ones that were destroyed from back over this other side. So we've now got them ready to go. What have they got inside? They've got 701 zero gun. All right, so we need to ultimately get... Now, we've actually gone and built as much as we could with our industrial points. That's why we got some of these. That's going to be enough just to help us a little bit. And then we're going to be able to at least start to move these out and do something, hopefully. But I think it's going to be difficult for us to really sort of push here at all. Who's that group? It's the Voromar territory, which we haven't seen before. Or is that them? Yeah, that's a different one again. That's a fourth entity. Okay, so we've got the decision making. Deeply wants special exemption. So everyone's happy for that to actually happen. So I'm actually happy enough for that to be the case. So let's just go and do that one. We'll just allow
Understood.
Militia Parade. Now, this is going to cost me 200. And it's really important that we actually do it. We're back up to full food again. Let's go and trade the food away. So we'll go to sell the food. 0.28. I can sell all of my food, which I don't want to do. I need to keep around about 200 of it. So I can get another 885. I'll sell 600 odd. Actually, that's not great. Let's sell, say, 400.
Roger that.
And our water is also up really high. So we'll sell the water as well for another 120
Roger
credits. Rare earths, we've got a lot of these. They're worth a bit. We also have the machines that we can sell, but I want to keep them for when I need to build, if I can hold on to them. The fuel isn't worth much either, actually, which is interesting. So, some random person saying, good to see you back from that momentary ripple. Too soon. No, that's fine. Looking forward to some more Distant Worlds 2. Yeah, so I was almost going to stream that, but then I'll probably be streaming that a bit on my Twitch channel, I think. So I thought I'd actually, and I'm also wanting to still record some more episodes for the series that I've got going at the moment. I don't have any videos left over for that one, so I'll have to record them fairly soon. So where are we up to? So we've got so actually Aiden's saying, did you lose your I didn't actually start with artillery. I think that's what you're referring to. Okay, so right, so Analytical saying, good evening, Dads and everyone. An idea, is there a way you can improve the chance of an industrial card? That's a point, actually. I could actually put my industrial my economic counsellor up, because I think that he actually can do that a little bit. That's a good point, actually. We may get lucky. So, because I don't need the metals really anymore, because even though the private sector's grabbed them, we'll get the benefit of this a little bit once that's actually been built. So that's something we could actually go and do. But that's actually an interesting one. Where else have we got? So, and so Samuel's saying, haven't watched you in a while. Great to see you've got your channel back. Thanks for that. And Aiden's saying, if you still have your artillery, you should be able to harass that one enemy threatening your cap. I didn't start with any artillery at all. I don't think these had any. Or did they? Oh, they did. They've got one there. And, yeah, we lost this one. So it's not really enough to worry about. So let's not worry about those. Yes, we could actually weaken them, I guess, ultimately. But I think we're just going to have to wait for them to bleed against us at some point. Aiden's saying, really, did they start the starting unit load up? Yes, they did. They started. A lot has changed in the game, like a hell of a lot, which is actually good. There's some really, really good changes now that have come into the actual game itself. So it's a very different game than what it was, which is really quite cool. Now, what are we going to do here? We've got 3 decisions to make. Militia Parade. We can now afford this one, and it's important that we do this because everyone will hate it if we don't.
Order acknowledged.
So that one should give us another unit that we may be able to make use of. National budget allocation is going to keep them with no changes. That's going to be okay.
Order acknowledged.
Now, new organisation. I really can't afford to do anything with this. So I'm just going to go none. I think. Yeah, I'll go none because we're really just struggling until we get industry. And I think what we'll do is we will actually follow that that suggestion. Actually, if we just go back into our director of the Economic Council, and if we call him up and discuss discovery focus. This is actually something that came in recently as well, but I forgot how this one actually does work. We might have a look at that.
Copy that.
And I forget what that actually. I think it's too early for us to do that one. That allows us to push a certain tech for us to try to discover it. But let's go back and call that one back up again.
Standing by for orders. Copy
And
that.
change the priorities. So when we go back out, we've now got 2 of them. So we've got the discovery focus is a tech group, basic tech. So this one will actually then have a result. I think we'll just go no discovery focus, but this one does allow us. So keep in mind that forcing our investors in a specific direction restrains their creativity and will result in a negative 66% penalty, which we don't want. At the moment, the tech group, the only group we can go for, I should have checked this before we did this one, but if we go back to this area and go to techs, The only one we can focus on anyway is basic tech, so we're still looking in here. But if we use the focus, it's better for when these things all start to open up. We can then focus in a particular area, but we can't do this one. So it's a really cool thing for later on, just not now. So we're going to go no discovery focus. Just wanted to see exactly what it did. I forgot what it had done. So back in here, prospecting can, let's keep the research priority up. The discovery, like we're not discovering much, and that sort of bothers me a little bit. And we'll just change these around a little bit. So we'll get our prospecting down to say 15. Let's just move this one down a little bit. Just see how we go with getting our policies up. So we'll go and confirm that. And we should just double check and see that that one does come back in through the Economic Council, because that may have all been for nothing. But I still think those cards could be useful. Now, if we have a look at the strategies, the strategy generation overview, spying stratagems, human resources. Oh, hang on, that's the. No, that's not going to be it. That was this turn. Yeah, that's okay. Where's the cards? So under help. There we go, Stratagem Encyclopedia. So for the Economic Council, if we just filter by this one here, we've got archaeology, private investment. No, we don't get it, unfortunately. Okay, that's a problem. Supreme Command Council, what do we get for this one? Ask for help. Yep, so that's nothing much. Nope, none there as well. Interior. Sales tax, that was something we may have to go for at some point. Commercial gift. Yep, that's just recruitments. Yep, nothing there. Fate. There should be a fate one. Yeah, eager industrialist. That's the one we want. She's just a fate pack. Yeah. So actually, I was in the wrong area. It doesn't. That just comes from fate packs. So we may be lucky there. So that's the. It's tech level. Tech level less than or equal to 5. So we may still pick this one up. We may be lucky enough to pick that one up, but I don't like my chances. I think we're screwed here, actually. I think we are sort of dead in the water. They're fighting down the bottom there, which is fine. So these are pushing this particular group around, which is not really a problem for us, so we'll just leave that one where that is. These are still, there's definitely something in there. Nothing we can do about that. Again, we can't really do much in here. We do have a little bit extra that we can start to get in here, but again, the industrial points are what's killing us. So we're stuck again. Now, the motion that the meritocracy profile, I'll just accept this motion no matter what it is, even though we probably won't get it. Now, how are we going back in here? Okay, the unrest is coming down a bit, which is good. We're now starting to really lose our credits again, which is a problem. We're losing still 50 per turn, which is at least that's 3 turns away now. We're going to need to sort of go and do more. There's nothing much in here we want to sell just yet. So we've got sort of really can't do much there at all. Yeah, we're a bit stuck here. Now we do actually have, these can start to move out, and we can sort of hit this from different angles. Okay, these are armoured cars. 2 militia buggy. So 1 group of bikers and 2 raider militia. If we attack that one with everything, what do we end up with? 8 to 1 is good enough, actually. I'll take that.
Going in.
Need to kill as many of theirs as possible. We killed all of their armoured cars, which is great. And we did force the other ones back, but we lost a lot ourselves. So we actually ended up losing 5 subunits, which is a problem. That's not good. Just click on OK. So, and we'll just move this one in. Now, we're going to need to rebuild these back up, which means we're going to have to get our industry points up again somehow. I think we're going to be relying on the luck of getting that industrial card. But at least we did good damage there. Here we go. And now they've just wiped out another group of ours almost completely. Man, this is hard. This is hard. We killed 500, but we lost a heap of the others. The AI has changed a lot. It is a lot harder than what it was. I'll dismiss that one. Here we go. So this group has now come back through there. This is non-aligned forces. I don't know how they ended up there. Okay, you can come back home. You can move up around the side there. If we surround them, that's an option, but we just don't have the force numbers. Like our readiness is 83 there. 95 there isn't too bad. If we do surround them, it's not going to help us much, to be honest, in this particular instance. Let's keep these back. So what do we need for replacement troops? We need 1,200 infantry. Or 12 of these. I can get 3. All right, we'll produce those. Now the others, we don't know what's in there. Okay, what have we got in there? Just, a lot of tanks. All right, so we better not go after that one. But it's just a small group. I don't know how they got there. Anyway, that's okay. Demagogue in Leadhead. So there's word of demagogue active in the slums. He is ranting against our reign and convincing people that they should emigrate or join the free folk. Is causing unrest. Now, if we try to do this one, the average, if we can't really do it, our average here is about, would that be? Actually, the average is about 100, so it's about the same. So there is a chance here. Convince the population is a fraud. I don't think we can do that one either. Yeah, the average is too low there. Unrest will go up by 10 if we do nothing, but let's try to find him and arrest him. Critical success, there we go. We rolled 142, which is great, and they only rolled 66. Caught him in a compromising situation in a graveyard. The mind boggles. Unrest did not increase, and enforcement went up by 4 points. That's good. Because that will hover around and cause a problem for us. All right, let's just stay where we are and hope that they don't go attacking us again. And we killed 3 motorised. Don't know where that one came in. I might just see where that attack actually did come in. Now we're down to 62. We've got 1 turn left. I think it was this group that actually attacked us. So let's have a look and see the history. So if we just go back, actually we are at the start. Let's just go to the first battle. Yeah, it was. They came through this with this one. They lost 3 of their trucks. And they didn't get to do anything. The tanks aren't good at fighting in the ruins, so that one worked out fairly well. Okay, and there won't be anything else. Let's go back to the map. Now, I'll just read a few more of the comments there. Might help with the lack of industrial cap. Yeah, we've done that one. Yep. And saying, well, then I'll have to start up this game again myself soon. Yes, it's very, very different. It's very good, actually. What Vic has been doing has really made the game much more engaging right from the very, very start. In fact, I think I probably should start on just normal, not on hard. Samuel Mackay is saying, I've never seen this game before. I haven't watched for like 3 years with the whole being taken down thing. You're being recommended to me again, so that's something good coming. Well, that's good, actually. I mean, it's sort of one of these things because they stopped recommending my channel about 3 years ago. Actually, I noticed a massive drop, and I don't know what it was. I think it coincided with when I was playing an Age of Wonders game where I had the word theocrat, and I've always gone back to that because they demonetized a whole series because I had the word theocrat, which was one of the ways of playing Age of Wonders. But ever since that point, they stopped recommending my channel, and so it's yeah. Hopefully, it's a complete reset. That would be awesome if that's the case. Actually, that would actually be really, really good. Because yeah, that would be awesome if they had done that. Because I've been quite. I don't know why they had stopped recommending me, but they did actually stop actively at some point. And I didn't do anything that I know of that would have been contentious at all. I think we're dead here, to be honest. I think we're going to have to start again. I think we'll start again with the same settings, but on normal rather than hard. Because on normal we're not going to have as much of the difficulties with our start as well. And this has been a brutal start. We've got no real options here. We got rid of one force, but these are just overpowered, and this is actually a minor faction. So when the major faction decides to get nasty, we're going to have a lot of issues, and that's just a matter of time before they step up. Yeah, that sounds like YouTube, says Samuel. Yes. Yeah, look, but I've got to say the YouTube team that were actually that helped me get my channel back were just absolutely awesome. So if they've been able to reset, actually, you're probably right. There probably has been, in hindsight, it's probably going to end up being a good thing for me because, my channel has died about 3 years ago because they stopped recommending. So if they've reset that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So anyway, let's start again. I think, unless you guys are really into me just getting my bum kicked here, but I think we'll start again. Still on the moon. The moons are difficult anyway, so we'll just go back out. Preferences, quick game. Yes. All right. So we'll start. I'll just quit right out and start again. Just so it sort of clears out the buffers or whatever. Sometimes I get problems coming in. So we'll just do another moon and see how we go. So we'll just wait for this one. Unless you guys want to see something other than a moon, I mean, it really wouldn't matter what we started on there. The moon starts are difficult because you don't have water. You've got very limited options when you do start on a moon, but the action tends to happen pretty thick and fast. Let's start a new game. So sing out in the chat if you prefer to see. Like I can either, what I'll do is I'll either go unclassified, which means it's a completely random planet, or we'll go back to do a moon again. So just let me know, because I'm probably only around for another hour anyway. Actually, so just in the chat, do you want to see something different other than the moon class? Moon class are interesting, but we didn't get out of our start location there, so we didn't get established there at all. We might, if we go back with a moon, I might start at tech level 4, just so we actually can at least sort of make a bit of a move out fairly fast. So I'll just wait for some of you to let me know what you want in the chat. It's either going to be unclassified or moon. At this stage, I'll go with whoever does it first. I really don't mind whichever way. If there's no one that does anything fairly soon, I'll just go and roll a dice. Got the dice ready. So okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll a if it's a 1 to 5, I'll play unclassified. If it's a 6 to 10, I'll play another moon class. So we rolled a 7, so it's another moon class. So we'll just go back into here again. I'll keep the severe violence, although that did cause us problems, so maybe we'll turn that one off. There we go. So Justin said moon. That's good. Let's turn the severe violence off. And there we go. Resmelin's saying unclassified. Just go continue. Detailed. Now I'm going to go complete after colonisation. Complete fog of war after we colonise, just so we can't see the whole map. 1 human player, city-state start. Let's go 2 armies per zone. That will just free us up a little bit more. Having said that, the AI will also get the same balance. It just means it will be able to do a bit more at the start. We'll start at tech level 4, which gives us the next level of tech as well. So we won't be stuck trying to just get a industrial start. We'll just go normal development, only the Supreme Command Council. We'll play on regular mode this time, so it's not going to be as difficult. Regular is still really hard. Beginner is more like normal, and then regular is more like hard. Hard is more like, very hard, and then extreme is almost impossible, basically. I think I've beaten it once or twice on extreme, but it's very, very difficult. And I've given the AI more time to think. This doesn't mean that they play at a higher level. What it does mean is that they look at more options, more algorithms. Mid-core logistics, I've got no idea what this actually is. I'll have to read that up before I accept that one. We'll continue. Now this is another one that's fairly low. This one is 10 astronomical units away from a yellow-white FO star. So this will be 1.4 billion years. Solar irradiance, I'll just re-roll a few of these. That's really bad with the solar irradiance. Wow, this is going to be great for our solar panels. Let's go this way. This will do. This is also a 37 by 13. Heavy elements is 211%, so we will actually find other things in through here. Extremely hot at 79 degrees Celsius, and very, very small moon. This is around an orange KO star. So this one here is mainly plains, but they're fairly high. So we've got plateaus in here, which is interesting actually. We've got plateaus there with a ridge that goes down between, and another big plateau up the top, and then sort of back down into these other regions. This will do. I won't worry too much about this. Actually, we will have a look at the surface. And we want to re-roll. We've only got one chasm. We've got a lot of escarpments on this one. That'll do us, actually. That'll do us. So we'll go continue. No biosphere, of course. So this is really just a moon sort of class, as we can sort of see. Nightmarish death again. Now the settlement, the colonisation, 83.9 million. We don't get to see where they are anymore. Continue. And then we have, this is mainly going to be mining hubs. We've got many scavengers with some raiders. Now in the last one we just happened to be unlucky with the amount of raiders that we had come up against. But one lot possibly worth the other scavengers who wanted to get peace. We're down to 0.319 million. It should tell us how many majors there are. I think I'll do that in the next one. 3 major regimes. There we go. And there's 3 minor regimes as well. So let's start the game. Nothing else we need to look at there. So this is another one that we've started really, really in close to a fairly, well, this is a warmer sun than what the red-orange one was. Just go and grab this one as well. Hail Crest, we'll just change this one to Daz Tactic Empire. Okay, and primary colour, I'll just make them back to the red and the yellow again. Just they stand out pretty well on the map. Click on OK, and we'll just pick pick B's this time, whatever B is. So we've got enforcement again. Okay, so this is now changed around. Mind, which is going to be useless on this particular world, and meritocracy, which is going to be useless on this world, but it won't matter. Only playing on normal. Hi, battle mode. How are you going? So mid-core logistics, you want to avoid Daz. It makes logistics easier for people who struggle. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wondered if that was it. It's sort of halfway between the easy one now, I guess. Thanks for that. Previous emperor is now buried, ashes to ashes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, yep, blah, 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 blah. What do we got? This is bureaucratic bonus points. That's useful. We've got a docile AI this time, so we've now got a robot. So we've got nothing great in through there. Bad rations will give us 2 fate points. That's a good one for us to get early, so that's fairly useful. Send spy, ask for help. None of those are all that useful. Ascension speech, let's just rattle through this one. These guys want the meritocracy. Looks like we're going to be playing a little bit more softer than we did in the last one, like in terms of our aggression. So we'll keep on. You've given your speech. Yep, that's fine. New organisation. Now, we don't have to take the Economic Council when we start at Tech Level 4, and I think we started that way. And zone decisions, yeah, upgrade. Now, I've got 16. Let's not spend those just yet. We've now found metals right from the very, very start, so we'll just dismiss this one. Welcome to the command. And this is landing. So this is actually where landing was. So this is landfall, which is probably going to be one of the bigger cities. If we just press number 1 and have a bit of a look. Hail Crest is where we are, but this is actually where the mega city started. So this is a good location for us, actually. This is a really quite a nice start. We've got our water 2 away from there. We've got metal already established. So we've got a metal mine there. Let's just go and just check these out. The water we control down through that side. We've got rare metals back down this side as well. So everything is very, very controllable. And here we've got the agrodome. Water is improving. Food is going down initially, but we really can't tell until we have the next one that actually does come through. So Sam was saying, anyway, got to go. Hope everything goes well. We'll watch the videos now. I'm actually seeing them. Thanks for that. Actually, it's good feedback to get that. Actually, I'm glad that that's quite a that made my day actually to hear that they're actually now starting to publicise my channel again. I mean, it's sort of it's interesting actually. That's a really interesting side effect. It's a bit of a worry actually in a lot of ways. We do actually have some sand dunes down in through here. This is just sand plains, which is really, really bad for us to be fighting in. So if we can get the enemy in the sand dunes, that will be fine. But we want to be keeping them at least 2 away just to keep the danger away. So at this stage, we're actually pretty good as far as danger is concerned. So we want to be beyond those. Let's have a quick look at the strategic map. So back in through here, we have Wurum, which is a minor regime, unknown. We're going to be probably trying to take that one on. We have Cathafel as well, is another minor regime. That's 30 happiness. That one's 36. They're even happier. Then we have we can see a city there. This is Narbonesis Pax, which is another minor. So all 3 minors are close to us. And then we have non-aligned forces. Now, we want to keep the non-aligned. They're going to be the pain in the bum, and one of these will probably declare war. So until we actually find out who's doing what, we'll need to sort of figure out which way we go with those. So we don't actually have the non-aligned forces. Yeah, that's the only one we have there. We're not seeing any of the other majors. This one looks like it could be a good one for us to go for. But we won't have the capability initially. So we'll have to sort of play this one a little bit more carefully. Let's have a bit of a look and see. We've got a road network that extends up this way as well. And so this one, I keep on pressing WASD, but this one could be a good one for us to look at. Actually, we have this one as well. So what do we have down in here? This is 2 different locations. These graphics have changed as well. So we've got an actual, this is a fertility hill. This one gives us 100 population at the start of the turn. That must be another one as well. That's a viewpoint. So this one here is a hex perk that we would be wanting to get. So I think we could aim for this one down in this other location. Those hex perks are going to be fairly useful. They're not great, but they'll do. And I think we'll just push everywhere, push all the way out at this point in time. Just press number 1. So we do have actually dedicated artillery this time. Now we don't really want to be losing this, but I don't know if I can get down. I can get down there. That's good. Let's just get into there to start with, and then we'll just move out a little bit. Don't know exactly where that one goes. All right, we can get right up to the edge here. Let's cause some issues. Now the 2nd infantry, yeah, these guys are a different colour. The 2nd infantry, what are they made up of? Just grunts. Okay, that's fine for the attacks. So they can come down this way. Then we'll use the others to spread out a little bit. Now the non-aligned forces, we don't know what they're going to find, so let's just get this one down towards the road network. Strategic movement, we will be able to. Actually, we can't do anything with strategic movement just yet. So we'll move this one back into the capital. Now we've also got, we've got a few militia back in through here as well. How many militia have we got? Just 2. Just 2 militia. If I keep 1 militia back, and then we need to spread out with these other ones. I'll just go up and just push this border away with those. With these. This one should be safe at this point in time. move those out. We do actually have this one here just to protect it a little bit. And then we'll just push the borders back. There we go, we've picked up another small village. These are important that we pick these ones up. We're not going to be attacking with these, so we'll just move them back this way initially. And we should be able to grab these as well very, very quickly. Right, so this is a much, much better start for us. Much, much better. 2 decisions now to be made. So is the zone upgrade, yes, we'll take it. We've got 16. It's not critical with anything else that we're doing. New organisation. Now we have to figure out what to do, because this one, I'm pretty sure when we go back into the techs, yeah, we've already now got the basic tech because of what we had done. Now, we don't get the university or the power plant, but we get a lot of other things. Got RPG over through here as well. I'm not sure if these are random. I'm not sure if these do get randomised a little bit. In terms of which way we go, I think we could still go the Economic Council, although we now should have, just go back to the map again. Yeah, we're now going, like we do actually have industry going now. If we have a look at Hillcrest itself, at the assets we have. So we do have an industry plant. This is a good start. We've now, because we went to tech level 4, high command, we've got the truck station which we control, which is good. That's a truck station 2. We've got recycling plant that we control. This is great. I'm so glad that he's changed these. I think it was because we did a hard start. We didn't get control of these before in the previous one. So that works out very, very well. This is great, actually. And we do start off with an actual full reactor this time, rather than just a battery. So what a difference this makes. What a massive difference. It's actually too much. It's actually too much of a leap between normal and hard. Hard is brutal, the way that it's been set up. Now we've got all of these. Workshop, we don't need to do anything else there. A bit of a loss because we've got everything that we need. Well, I think we might, actually what we'll do is just go back into here again, have a quick look at the assets are all okay. The energy, we're consuming 85 but producing 100, that's fine. The H2O, we're producing 566 but consuming 88 at the moment. That will go up with the food. We're producing 246 and consuming 221. That will change as well over time. So we'll just let things sort of go for a couple of turns. We're going to be able to sort of start to make some money. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with where we are with this right from the start. This is actually really, really good. So I'm thinking, let's have a quick look at our models and just see what we've got. So we just go to all. We now have a lot more because we've started off. We now have access to, just go to design. That's really awesome for the light tank. So that one's actually viable right from the start. The recon buggy is also viable. That's interesting. It's normally 2 pages, so he's changed this as well. So both of these have got really, really good start locations in here for their structural design, which is sort of like the random one that does come in. Even these are like, that's fairly average. That's fairly average, which is fine. I'm actually happy with this a lot. I'm really happy with this. Now this means, do we want to go off? Is there anything in here that we really want? I would love to get the side skirts, the combat armor. This would be awesome for us. Yeah, many of those in there. We don't really need the Economic Council stuff. We're sort of okay. It would be nice to have it, but I think that the military would be better. Let's have a quick look at our leaders. Yeah, we've got a few Cap 3s. We've got a Cap 4 there as a commander for the first SHQ. That's going to be useful. So he'll be good. Reserve pool member. So what's Chip good at? Intelligence. So very high with intelligence. So he will ultimately, even though he doesn't have any skills yet, he will ultimately be good at technician, at inventor, science, these sorts of things. So we can put him into any one of those two science categories. He's also good with war as well. So he will be the first one that we use somewhere. So I'm thinking we put him into either one of those other areas. We don't really need to worry about the Model Design Council. He's not great with people, like his charisma isn't high, so there's no real benefit in bringing him across as the interior counsellor, although we're going to need that as well at some point. I think we'll start off, actually, what about the advisor? This one's only a cap 2, that's not really useful. Supreme Command Council is also high, which is great. He's good technician and good inventor. Now, if we swapped him out, that's going to cost me too much. Yeah, it's going to be expensive, but he would be awesome in that role. I've got 11 left, and I still need to spend some of it. He would make a really, really good inventor. Look, I'll leave it where it is. Technician, that's using model discovery and design. So it's mainly for model. Yeah, so we're not going to be awesome, not going to be all that great. Let's just leave it off. So we'll just go and get maybe the military council, I think, at this stage. So that should then work out okay. Let's just go back and do that. So we'll go back to our decisions, and we'll just get the military research council. I think that's a way to go. Interior council would be good. That way we can get on top of our taxation, get our money situation sorted, which would be pretty awesome. Yeah, I might do that because I'm happy enough with my tank design and my armoured car design right from the start. Let's do that. Okay, done. So we've made the decision. Let's end our turn here. So we've sort of moved everyone out. Now it'll be interesting to see if any of these do declare war on us. What a difference this has made. We've got the full South Pole to North Pole thing going. Okay, so admin level has risen to level 4. Only fate pack on tech level increase on regular difficulty. Did we get that one? I thought we were playing regular anyway. Anyway, looks like we got diddled out of that one. So we've got this one as well over here. Now, what I want to do is I want to grab these locations here because we'll end up with getting bonuses from those. We should just check and see what we've got in through here. The Zone City upgrade, we can upgrade immediately to a level 3, which cost me 10, which I don't really want to be doing that one so much. New director. Now, his suitability is low, but he'll be okay. So we'll appoint him into that role.
Roger that.
And this one here. Now, what we want to do is we want to have very low tariffs, let's say 1%. I don't think tariffs are useful at all, unless that's been changed as well. The human resources, this will be who we recruit, and this one, the interior policies, will be the cards that we get. The taxation priority. Now we do want this one to be fairly high initially. I think we might move this one up to say 50, lock that one in, and then just have these at 24, 25, that'll do. So we want to get the cards for taxation initially. I'll confirm those. Dissatisfied elements in Narbonensis packs. Apparently there's growing dissatisfaction inside Narbonensis. Their Rex seems to be bordering on the insane. We're in contact with a mysterious opposition leader calling himself Jeef. He says that if we can give him just a little support and a promise to invade, then he can organise a 5th column of rebels to rise up. And we can afford it, but we don't want to be doing this one. So I'm going to go no. For the simple reason it's just too much money for me at the start of this particular game. So we'll go no there. It would be nice to have done that because we would have ended up with a couple of really good militia forces that we could have made use of. Now, Interior Council, I'm going to keep it like this. I don't really want to have the Interior Council getting too far ahead of itself, so we'll just confirm that one. Now, we've still got this one here for another 10. I can afford it. We've got this going up now as well quite nicely. This is a nice start, actually. This is a really nice start. Let's do the upgrade. Okay, so we'll do that one. Let's go and start building some stuff before we do anything else. So we'll just go back into here. We'll just go to construction. So we can build an extra level on the recycling facility. Now, we don't actually have any machines at this stage. We'll find them fairly soon. We can get solar panel fields, and solar panel, as we saw at the start, it should be really, really good. In industry as well, nothing much. We're going to need to get the biofuel refinery at some point. This is fairly cheap. We're going to be able to get that one fairly well. The government buildings, we want to get this one as well as soon as we get to civilization level 2, which means that we might, some of these, getting the hospital or barracks would be good, but let's not do that one just yet. Either one of these are good. This will then raise our civilization level fairly fast. That's tempting, actually. We can afford it. We can afford it. Training bonus points production per round. So we get a little bit of extra training there as well if we go to the barracks. Let's come back to that. Logistics we don't need to worry about just yet. God, I love the changes he's making in the game. It really is so cool. Let's have a quick look at the reports again. Just go to the help file and just see how much we get. Yeah, so the solar panels, we get 168% power for solar panels. So we definitely want to be doing that one. And I think this is parts per billion, like 66 parts per billion dissolved metals in the soil, which means that we can then sort of do metal soil filtration or whatever it's called, which would be useful. So let's just leave that one off. And what are we going to build? Actually, let's have a quick look at the Hail Crest itself. And if we have a look and see how this is going. Now, we've already got security of 50 and education of 50. Health is on 0 and entertainment is on 0. So if we can raise health, that will give us more bang for buck than the security and education. So if we have a quick look at the assets here, we've got schools and we've got a police station. There's the 50 there from the police station and 50 from the schools. So they've already got those built. Actually, what are they going to build next? Where do we see that one? I forget where this actually is. Great, they're going to build light industry next. This is awesome. Okay, so that's what they're aiming for, and that would suit us very, very well. So we're happy with that choice. So that's going to be fine. That's their next goal for the private sector to sort of then work on that one through there. But what I think we'll do is we'll go get the hospital so we can boost the health points up. I was sort of interested in getting the security points up, but to get the extra training abilities, but we won't worry about those. We'll just go straight through the other way first. So back into here, construct government, and we'll build the hospital, which will give me 100 health points.
Roger
so
that.
We'll just start construction there. Getting on top of those things early is good. Yeah, this is impressive what he's done. Let's just see if we can take Tollwitz. We can. Let's just go that way. And look, we might as well come back down and just see what we can do down this way as well. Want to grab these little towns if we can. There's another ruin. There's nothing up there, so we don't need to worry about that one so much. Okay, there's a force down through here. This is Cathafel. No idea what that's going to do. Let's just move these out. I keep on sort of, my mouse just does a bit of a right double click. I can't move to there because they've got there's too many sort of action points that are going to be drained by moving in there because of where that one is. But I would love to get on that escarpment. I might just go this way a little bit, and then we can get into these areas, which is like on top of a hill. And so this little area through here is actually going to be a fairly high location, or this one here would be even better with those crossroads. Just move these down and just sort of push in around these and just get the borders sort of happening. I'll leave that one where that is. We want to grab these little villages so we can hopefully pick up some machinery. This is what we really want to be grabbing in here. Right, we picked up another 2 and a cross. Now, move that one in. What are we seeing in here? Fanatics. So this is a religious group. So Narbonensis Pax is, it's unknown, but it'll be a religious fanatics. Give them a way out of the city, and then we'll start to come up and just get ready for the attack. Now, can we use strategic movement? No, we still can't. Why not? Let's just go to the current points. 800 odd there. So what's the weight of this? Where do we see that? Yeah, 685. There we go. Well, we should be able to move there. Oh yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, we can move to that one. We just can't move to this other one. If we just go back to normal movement, I can move to there anyway. But if we go to strategic movement, I can still move. You're saying I can. No, the weight is too much. I can move there, but I might as well not do the strategic movement. So I'll just do normal movement and move that one down and move this one down as well. And these will just keep on until we sort of end up with something that's not going to quite work for us. Just gobble these up. That's on the edge of our supply. Move this one down just to help out on this other zone. Nothing else happening back that way. Now our food has now gone up very, very high. Let's just see if we can sell that off. Yeah, 0.52 is good. That is a good price. So let's go and sell off 221 of that for 114 credits.
Yes, sir.
Just to get back on top of this. We want to keep close to 500 there if we can. Now I can sell, I've got 16, they'll buy 16 rare metals. They've only got 230 credits. They don't want any more than that. So who's trading? Yeah, this is just the SHQ or the zone. Yep, so with the SHQ there, go back to zone. So Halcrest can actually sort of sell stuff directly if it needed to. Which we won't do. The water as well, we can actually sell a bit of that off, but it's only 0.26.
Yes,
Sell
sir.
a bit of it. There we go, another 77. And we don't need the water going at that level. Now the water was down here. Just go 50% production at this stage. It's a limited resource. There's 91,000 water reserves, so we need to be careful of that one because we will run out of water on the planet until we sort of get other techs. Now we've got the victory balcony back and through here. This one gives us one population loyalty at the start of a turn, which is great. And we've got the population increase as well. So these are nice things to find right from the very, very start. Okay, so we've got that one. Let's end our turn there. I think. Hang on, let's have a look. Yeah, so we're going to pick up a lot this turn. We've actually uncovered a lot of these little free areas, the free folk areas. Yeah, they're moving back around. Suffered no losses, that's okay. There we go, we've picked up some 200 GR grade machine gunners. 2 high-tech items, that's not what we want. We want machines. Another 200 GR grade infantry. Some credits. So all of those little towns gave us that. There's increase in sales tax. I will make use of that just to get some practice in making use of these things. We'll dismiss that one. And so we'll just go to our strat cards. Oh, here we go. We do have income tax. I didn't see that one come in. Now, before we use that one, I'm going to increase the sales tax. Now, this is a die 100 plus 18 and a difficulty of 50.
Roger that.
And we rolled a 24. So we rolled a 6, basically. So just click on OK. So I'm glad that we wasted that one on that one. It's a failure. So now he will have picked up a little bit of experience from that. I don't know if it gets applied straight away. Yep, spend 8 XP to improve. Yeah, that's nothing. Yep, so that's different again as well. Skill log. Yeah, we're not seeing much in through there just yet. Anyway, we'll go back. We'll just exit, but we want to get him practiced up in this way. Now, I don't know, decrease income tax. We're on 0. I wonder if we can do that. Difficulty will be inverse to current income tax. So the difficulty is 105. This one's only difficulty 70. But how can we decrease income tax with minus 10%? Yeah, this is plus 10%. But we're on 0 anyway, aren't we? Or did we start? Oh no, we're on 20. That's right. This was changed as well. That was something I asked for that to be changed because it was on 0 usually, and at least you got some money coming in. Because otherwise it was a no-brainer. But I keep on forgetting that's been changed. So anyway, back to the strat cards. We will try this one. It's 70. It's about 50-50.
Roger that.
And we rolled 100. Great. So we actually rolled, what's that, 92, 82. Awesome. I wish it would give you the actual rolls, or does it? Yep, so made administration roll, skill level 0, leader relation roll equals 15. There we go, 85 on the die 100. And we instead of 15, it was I'm not sure why it says plus 18, but it was an extra 15. Okay, at least I'm glad that we're seeing that. I should actually check that one more often to see what it tells us. Now, we're not going to need this one. The bad rations. So what does this one do? So this one, morale of militia and troops is reduced by 20%. We get 2 fate points, though. That's a good one to have because we'll get over that one fairly quickly, but let's wait until we actually take this city first, if we can do it. Yeah, miners, we don't have anything. Covert ops, nation, nothing much in there. Zones, actually we've got this guy as well. So we can bring this one in. I think I'll wait for a little while, although it might be useful. Now, what are we under here? This is just rocky plains. Now, this is great for us because they really can't entrench much. I might go for 1 attack down and just sort of see how we go. Move this one back up again. Here we can still, no, we can't attack with that one. What have we got in here? Not much. This is actually potentially a good one for us to go for. Now, we've actually come across the major player. This is one of the major players. This is Vertica. It's fairly friendly with us. And we've got some other troops up there. Now, what's underneath that one? That's a degraded factory. 20 industrial points would be fairly nice for us to grab that if we can. Not going to be able to get it though for a little while. These are now coming back in. Here's the this was the infantry that we just picked up from those ruins from the town that was there. I'll move them around. So that should force them back. They haven't declared war yet. Now we don't know what's in there. I'm guessing nothing. Got 38 recon. I'm going to take the risk. Yep. Okay, that was fine. And we'll grab both of those little villages. So if we just press number 1, both of these are other things we've now taken. This one here, I'm just going to move these up, just to basically protect it with this escarpment. It's quite a useful position, that one. This one here, not going to be able to do much that way. Now we've got a lot of resources, I better go and change what's happening here with my logistics. So let's just go back to the traffic signals. Just press T, and now I thought that this has been changed to always have pull points going through. So we always want to have pull points going in, and in this case we want to block everything so that they'll all be blocked off except for the pull points. That way they'll get what they need. And I really want to have only minor ones going off in this other direction at this stage. So I'm going to put, say, 40% on that one there. And so most of the logistics will actually, maybe even 20%. This way we're just going to have most of the logistics now moving along this road. So we'll just go back. So next turn, strategic movement. We can't do any strategic movement there because of the weight of these guys. So now just move them. They're not going to get here in time. Now we have these machine gunners. I'm going to move them back up in towards the capital. Now these should be able to move fairly fast. These are only 14 weight, so they can definitely move with the strategic movement if we need them to. These are all okay at this stage. So we're doing pretty well here. Let's go in. Now we've got these surrounded, even with this one not being part of the fight. I would love to have had an armoured car or something, but I think we've got enough to fight with this one. Now we can see the recon is 76. So we've already got more than the minimum recon. We don't have all of the recon in there, but we've got a fair amount. If we have a quick look at the units that are in here, we've got 300 fanatics. Now there should be more than that there. I'm thinking they'll all be around about this sort of level of like 1,100 fanatics. They should be fighting better than that. They've got a infantry equipped with environmental suits. They've got, which is basically just space suits. That's against hard attacks. This is what they do. They have a soft attack of 40, but a defense of 60. What's our units? They've got, so it's pretty much a 50-50. We attack at 64. All right, let's go for it. See what happens. Now this one through here, we do actually have militia and a buggy. It's a bit risky. We do have them sort of surrounded. What I might do is I might use the artillery. So I'm going to declare war. So yes, we will. And we'll now do the invasion. So we're going to first of all soften them up with the. We've only got one irregular artillery there, but it's one of these things. I'll just show you why I'm doing this. If I go with this unit here, I'll show you what happens if I don't use this unit. So if I go and attack with all the other units except for that unit, I get up to 3.4 to 1. If I attack with this unit, it actually goes up, but not very much. So it's actually, what happens is, you'll see through here, we get a concentric of plus 75. If I get rid of that one, I've still got a concentric that's just slightly higher. In fact, what might be better, I shouldn't have actually declared war. I'd be better off moving this one down to attack. But if I switch, I'll just do a ranged attack using this one here. Let's do this one to try to soften them up. So we'll just go with this one in this other side. So there's nothing going to be coming back. So we'll just go and do the ranged attack.
Fire in the hole! Yes, sir.
All right, so we're running out of action points at the end of that one. If we have a look at the detail, oh, sorry, not the detail, we just look at the text. And we'll then sort of see that actually that's good. We actually got some retreats. So what we've done is we've reduced their readiness slightly, and that's about it, and their entrenchment down slightly, which means that the others will now be able to attack a little bit easier, and that's really all that's going to do. Just go back to the graphics. So yeah, nothing else really happened in there. So just click on OK. So we don't get to see all of these because our recon is only still 76. So we don't get recon advantages by doing that one. Now, in this way, let's just go in with all of these now. This thing gets us, it's only 2.8. Whew. Let's wait. Unfortunately, these guys will be trying to get back in as well. Let's move them down. They may attack us, which would be good if they did, but I don't think they will. But these will possibly try to get back in. They may end up there, which is okay. We just need to get them out of the town. The others are okay where they are. They should escape back, hopefully. Voodoo Dog saying, "Hey Daz, so nice to see you back. In a recent Shadow Empire game, a minor faction I was neutral with drove 2 tiles close to my capital, and in that turn we were at peace. What can you do in such a case? Just try to block them, basically. And usually it's raiders that will do that. But I'm not saying Voodoo Dog, that's too close for me. If there's nothing else going on, I declare war. Yeah, provided I can win, of course. Yeah, because you don't want them within 2 tiles, because that will then get your danger levels up. Okay, they didn't attack us, but did they move in? Alright, so that's okay. Here we go. We've got more militia now. I'm going to move the militia off in this direction. Right, so we've got no machines. What are we building though? I don't think we're building anything. Let's have a quick look at the assets. Yeah, construction finished on the hospital. Yeah, they've only still got the 3 in there, which is good. Now I've now got them more surrounded with what we actually had started with. I'm not going to use these Galactic Republic guys to do the attack. They can't anyway. But these we will just go back in again. We'll just switch the regular attack and just do another ranged attack. Hang on, why did that not work? Oh, I've got to select it, that's why. Alright, so we do the ranged attack in here again.
Fire in the hole!
You're not seeing any more, but we've got 74 recon on this region.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so that's now moved back out again. Just look at the text. Didn't do anything this time, so they're now used to us doing this. But we now actually have units surrounding this one, so we should actually have a fairly good attack, 8 to 1. All we have to do is just squeeze them out into this location. This is why we're not surrounding them, because then they'll fight to the death. But in this case, we now have a concentric attack of 150%, which is great. That's really doubled pretty much what we had before.
Advancing.
Graphic. Oh, well, this isn't looking good. Damn it. Jeez, we lost heaps there. This is shockingly bad. Oh my god. Okay, well that was terrible. That really hurt. That was absolutely shocking. Ah, boy, oh boy. Yeah, 74 recon is too low for artillery to hit. Yeah. So Battleman's saying, are you doing a chat tactic tonight? I'm about to start work, but I'm starting early so I can finish in time to watch. Yes, I will be. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing that. I've just thought I've got to get going, guys. Actually, I'm just looking at the time. We're about to have our dinner, so I'll be going to sleep in a couple of hours, and then I'll be back up to do the chat tactic in 9 hours' time. So if you're around, I'll be doing that one again. I will just put so I will have to go now. I didn't realise it was this late. Well, that's probably a fitting way to sort of rage quit on that particular attack. That was shockingly bad. Usually, I don't know if these have come up. Yeah, there's more in here than we thought. 700, 600. So there's a few more in here than we actually had. Our recon now should be pretty high. Yeah, 370. So it's now accurate. Ah, damn it. Oh, well. That's what we get. So I will actually get going. I'll catch you guys. If you're going to be around for the chat tactics session, that'd be great. I didn't think anyone would be watching this, to be honest, at this time. But anyway, it's good to have the channel back. So I just wanted to do something to celebrate. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.